This was the time when everything would change. No longer confined to the shackles of the classroom, I was set free into the wild, and into the Scholastic Book Fair we went, unrestricted by checks or teachers. They handed us baskets, and they picked up our order forms, and of course, as expected, my order form had everything but the stuff I wanted. But I said, not today. Everything will change. Starting now. It was the 1990s. I was a young man then. First grade. Resurrection of Our Lord Elementary School in New Orleans, Louisiana. I had big dreams, a big imagination. But you have to understand something. And it starts with my mother. Right? She likes to talk about how many books she reads. You know, I love her. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. But, like, she thinks she's on a higher level than what she really is, I think. And she'll often, like, she does some things to keep up appearances. And I understand it. But that's just something you have to know about me before we get into the story. So yeah, it's the 1990s. First grade. Miss Blanchard's class. She is a... I don't remember well enough to claim it, to say if she should claim BBW status. But I do remember her being a big body. I remember her being a big body for sure. So look, if you look at this picture, you see the kid from the second on the left in the third row, the one with the purple hair and the brown skin. That's me. Actually, you know what? Hold on 1 second. I know how to fix this. Here we go. It's almost exactly like the classroom as I remember. So check this out. Miss Blanchard, I'm gonna give her some opacity. Make her blend in with Miss Hoover. So once again, the 90s. Now look, if any of you guys were in elementary school in the 90s, look, I don't care if you can call me a square, you can call me lame, you can say whatever the fuck you got to say. Cause I know one thing. There's one thing I know. And that's nothing matched the hype, the pure adrenaline, the madness that went through children's eyes when it came time for the fucking book orders. Basically, for everybody under the age of like 11 or 12 in the stream, these book orders were, you would get them in class, you would take them home, and there would be an order form in them, and you would mark off the books that you wanted to order. You would bring the order form back to school, and then in a week, a big ass box would come to the classroom, and everybody would get hype. Everyone would just get hype as shit because oh shit, the book orders came. Some kids would just go ape shit on the book orders. They would get all kind of dumb shit. They'd be walking out of there with like fucking just like huge ass boxes, t-shirts, fucking video games and shit. And there would always be some people who just, you know, quite frankly, got left behind. I would get one of these. I'd be dripping wet in the classroom like, holy shit, I gotta get this book. I didn't even, and the trip part is, I don't even like reading. But I was just like, gotta get this fucking book. Gotta get this one. Goosebumps? Yes, please. X-Men novel? I don't even like to read. I probably can't even read this shit, but I want it. It's got Wolverine on the cover. I need it in my life. I bring it home. Mom, you gotta help me out. I need this X-Men book. Why don't you get this book on the Egyptian news? Excuse me? I don't want to. No, I know the mummies and shit. No, that's not interesting. I want this X-Men book. I think we should get this book on Native American history. Don't you think? No, I mean, look, they're proud people, and they got some pretty fucked up shit done to them. But can we get this Animorphs book? Can we get the Sonic the Hedgehog book instead? But you see, the problem is when you're 7, 8 years old negotiating with adults, you just don't have anything. So the way it would work every time is I would bring these home, and I'd be like, I would have the list of shit I wanted, give it to my mom. I'd get the box the next week. None of the shit I wanted's in there. It's only the books she wanted. Every fucking week this shit happened. I'm like, bruh, I want that. What the hell is... I remember being so tight sometimes. Because some kids they have these huge ass boxes in the classroom. All this bullshit. I open mine and it's like Egyptian history, the secrets of Babylon and all this other shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I remember just looking around, I was just angry. I just remember being angry. She never let me have the books I wanted. And it worked that way for maybe a year, some month, I don't remember, for a while. Until one day, there wasn't a Scholastic book order. No. This was something way bigger than that. There were no pamphlets. This was the Scholastic Book Fair. Finally, I had my chance. No longer was I reliant no longer did I just have to hope that check that I brought to school every other week had what I wanted accounted for. No, this was wide open. 9 years old, 8 years old, I don't even remember. But I'll tell you what I do remember. The rush the first time I walked into the Scholastic Book Fair. Because you see, the thing was, we had to leave the classroom. Now hold on, let me introduce... Now, but before we get into what happened here, let me introduce another character to the story. Y'all see this? This is Felix. Now, I picked this picture of Felix the cat because not just because he shares the name, but because this brother, if I remember correctly, he was very tall, very lanky, and dark as hell. He was just like super dark. And I didn't want to be paying for like, I didn't want y'all to clip this and be some racy shit. You know the race relation is real bad right now. But the brother was real dark. He was real dark. He had a nice smile. But what you have to understand about the role of Felix in that classroom. Felix in that classroom was the fall guy, okay? He wasn't like tough or anything. He was this guy who, if something happened, he was just always that guy who was always in the wrong spot at the wrong time, or he just happened to be like affiliated with people who were just up to no good at that moment, and he would somehow just always be taking the blame for shit. And it became a joke. I remember this shit. Like something falls over, Felix did it. No, it wasn't me, Miss Blanchard. That kind of shit. Just remember him. Keep him in the back of your head. Now, I think I look a lot like this actor. I'm not sure he will play child me, but we're gonna let it rock. So this is child me. Picture Louise Guzman at age 7 or whatever, however old I was. So I'm in the Scholastic Book Fair. I see my chance. This is it. Remember, this has been going on for months. I'd get the order form. I would get super excited, but it just seems like every time my mom was there to just baller block me. It was just like that. But this was my chance. This was the time when everything would change. No longer confined to the shackles of the classroom, I was set free into the wild, and into the Scholastic Book Fair we went, unrestricted by checks or teachers. They handed us baskets, and they picked up our order forms, and of course, as expected, my order form had everything but the stuff I wanted. But I said, not today. Everything will change, starting now. I went into the Scholastic Book Fair and went absolutely bananas. I grabbed everything off the shelf that even looked cool. I remember I put an X-Men novel in there, a Power Ranger. I remember very specifically X-Men novel, Power Rangers coloring book. This shit was like 200 pages. I remember, and it was like at least 2 or 3 other books. Exactly. I broke the chains that bound me. I just went insane. I was just, cause you know what it was, man? I saw all those other kids and they were just getting all this cool shit, and I was just like, it's not the childhood classic. I was just like, it's not fucking fair, man. So you know what? I ran through this bitch. I was just taking shit off the shelves, just putting it in the basket. Now look, these dumb fucks. So I make my way around. All the kindergartners in a line, right? They all had their baskets, and it was set up in order. It's set up in order to where an adult is guarding the door, checking everything, right? These stupid fucks just let me walk right out. I had everything I wanted. Hold on. Give me a picture of Light Yagami, smiling. This was 6-year-old me as I walked back into the classroom. I'm in there just like with that smile. I'm like, I can't believe I got away with it. These fools. And dude, I don't know what it was, man. I knew better. I knew better than not to steal, but I think I just had never gotten caught for it. I was at that age where you just like, you don't really get it. Like, you know it's bad. Like, you know it's different or bad, but you're not sure why. And I had never been caught for it. So I was just like, fuck it. I'm like, I was on some real shit. I was on some Daenerys Targaryen shit. I was like, take what's mine, mine's by right. This shit belongs to me. We return back to the classroom. So we take our seats, right? Now there's one more. So let's put Felix where he belongs. Felix was seated probably somewhere around here. Okay? Probably the second in this row. So look. Mind you, this is like first grade, right? So I've got all this shit in my bag. I'm like, holy shit. To be honest, I'm more shocked that it worked. I remember this shit so well too. This is the strip part. I remember this shit so well. I was just like kind of shocked. I think it was like maybe one of the first times I ever did something like that. And I was just shocked. I was like, holy shit, I cannot believe this worked. Like, I've got all this shit in my bag. Like, this is incredible. So look. Miss Blanchard returns to her teacher's desk. And after a short while, it begins to set in. I'm like, I got it. This is nuts. I can't believe I pulled this off. And then a knock on the door. Miss Blanchard walks over. And it's one of the older teachers. She was a real bitch, if I remember correctly. I'm not even afraid to say it. A whisper is exchanged. The door closes. Miss Blanchard returns to about face the classroom. She says, everyone, somebody stole some stuff from the... No, she didn't say that. She said, everyone, there are some books missing from the book fair. We need you to check your bags. Make sure that there's nothing that you didn't order. Now, of course, me at this time, I'm shitting myself. I'm like, holy shit. This isn't good. So everyone checks their bags, and it's like honor system at this point. It's honor system at this point. Everybody's checking their bags. And I'm like, holy shit. So no one says anything, right? And then there's that moment where she said, okay, if you took something, I'm gonna turn off the lights. You won't get in trouble. Just return it. And this was the part where I should have given up, but I was like, no, dude. No, man. I can't go out like that. Because I just didn't trust it. I just didn't trust it. So she turned off the lights. She turned off the lights. Darkness. Tension throughout the air. But I'm in too deep. I know I can't do that. Somebody just gonna turn on the lights and they gonna know it was me. And I'm just sweating now. The sweat just, oh man. Just nervousness. But also adrenaline. So then we have this part with, and this is where it happens. These are called Cubbies. And they were located in the back of the classroom. It was pretty much where you put your shit. Miss Blanchard says, okay, I need everybody to put your things in your cubbies. She's gonna step up the security. Put everything in your cubbies, and she was going to expect them. I see my chance. I have a way out, I say. I have to sacrifice the things that I even came here for, but I'll escape clean. So everyone goes back to the cubbies and puts their bags in, right? And me, of course, I'm like, this is my chance. I put the books in someone else's cubby. Okay? I don't even know who. I just put them in someone else's cubby. Return to my seat. The evidence is gone. They can't pin it on me. All I have is some bullshit about dragonflies in my cubby. I'm sad as fuck, like always. And so, we return to our seats to continue the lesson, or rather, to continue this interrogation. The mystery still unsolved. Miss Blanchard, she steps to the front of the classroom, and she says, "This is your last chance. Does anyone know anything about the book fair?" And at this time, we have to introduce another player to this game. I can't remember if she was just light-skinned or if she was just white with a very strong tan. But there was a young girl in the classroom named Rachel. She sat in the back. And she was the biggest snitch I'd ever seen in my life. If something happened, she had to said who did it. She knew who did it. She knew everything. She looked a lot like Francine from Arthur. Miss Blanchard rises. Once again, does anyone know? This is your last chance. Everyone's silent. And Rachel, she stands up. I don't know why she stood up. Everybody else was sitting. But she stood up. And she said, "Felix did it." Why she said Felix did it, I have no idea to this day. I still don't know. But she said it loud and clear. And this was the surreal part. Because at this point, I'm still sweating. And I'm just like, oh my God. Just like, I was still sweating. And then I just turned around and I was like, holy shit, what? Are they really going to put it on him? And here's the thing. She said Felix did it. And here's the thing. Another student popped up. Yeah, it was Felix. I saw him. Yeah, I knew it was Felix. Oh my God. I'm just like, holy shit, what? No. Everyone started to just say it was Felix. Yeah, it was Felix. And at this point, Felix, he's yucking it up. Felix is like, you fools. He's still laughing. He's laughing. He's like, no, it wasn't me. Not this time, guys. Not this. Hey, the other 99 times, you got me. Not this time. You won't get me this time. It wasn't me. Miss Blanchard, with a stern look on her face, paces down to the aisle. She passes Rachel. They exchange a glance. Rachel knew what had been done, and Miss Blanchard knows and acknowledges her. "Thank you, Rachel," she says. "Thank you for speaking up." Felix, still with a conceited smile on his face, convinced of his own innocence. He sits, hands behind his head. Miss Blanchard then goes to the back of the classroom and inspects cubby by cubby. Up and down she goes. Until she gets to this one cubby. She stops. A long pause. Felix. The class looks. Felix, what are these books doing in your cubby? And at this point, I'm shocked. I'm in shock. Felix? Everyone looks at him. And this is his expression. And the worst part was, I remember him crying. It wasn't me, he said. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Now at this point, you know. You see, there's something I don't like to admit. The truth is, I'm a coward. I'm a cowardly man. I always have been. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I do it again. But you know what? There's a cost to being a coward. You can rarely sleep. You can rarely sleep the whole way through, you know. From time to time, I still get images of Felix in shock. It wasn't me, he said. I didn't do it. And as Miss Blanchard grabbed him by the arm, by now she's upset. And they walked out the classroom together. I couldn't help but think to myself, you know. Why didn't my mom just let me get the books I fucking wanted, man? Look at what they made me do. Look at what they made me do. I think about Felix often sometimes. Now that I spend a lot of my days in the Citadel, reading scrolls, my thoughts often come to him. I wonder what he's doing now. What path did he take in life after that first grade incident? But once again, I don't give a fuck. I do it again. Welcome back. Right back into the Citadel. Let's get into it. This is Virgin Fighter 4 Final Tune, SBO 2006.